You're watching Showtime. The excitement continues with The Honeymooners, the lost episodes. Ralph tries to help an old friend find a wife by interviewing available women. Next on Showtime.
A killer stalks the city, and no one knows when he'll strike next.
Meet me at the end of Navy Pier as soon as you can. I know who killed Boyd and the girl.
One man walks a tightrope of terror and suspense. Roger Moore, Art Carney, Rod Steiger, and Elliot Gould star in Naked Face on Showtime.
Plenty of excitement here on Showtime each and every Saturday night when we show a major feature film and we give away prizes worth thousands of dollars. Bill Harris in Hollywood inviting you to join me for our exclusive Saturday night sweepstakes here on Showtime. The excitement begins this Saturday night when Gene Hackman leads a bunch of tough veterans back to Vietnam in a rescue mission of uncommon valor. It's a cable exclusive you will not see on HBO or Cinemax. And unlike the soldiers in the film, you don't have to risk your life to win. Before the movie begins, I'll ask a question. Find the answer in the film, and you might win a giant screen TV set, a set worth more than $2,500. So join me for the Saturday Night Sweepstakes this Saturday, January 11th at 9 p.m., 8 Central, right here and only here on Showtime.
Beware the thief who strikes in the dead of night.
The odds against a crook being sensitive enough to get into your diaries is about 1,000,000 to 1.
I know he's reading them.
What the hell's in this book? You got a whole other life?
Beware the Thief of Hearts, a Paramount National Pay Cable exclusive you won't see on HBO or Cinemax.
Anything you want. Any way you ever imagined it. Come on, I'll show you.
Thief of Hearts, you'll see it only on Showtime.
In rock and roll, there is one band whose words and music speak for themselves. Dire Straits.
So far I just can't see. So far away from me. Now you're so far away.
Coming in January, Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms on Showtime.
Hello, I'm Phyllis Newman, and welcome to Inside Broadway on Showtime. This month, we'll visit the hit musical Song and Dance, and we'll talk with its star, Bernadette Peters, who also stars in Sunday in the Park with George. That's February's Broadway on Showtime. Then, a preview of Orphans, a powerful off-Broadway production of Chicago's Steppenwolf Theater Company. And on Broadway Beat, we'll look at the latest theater news. What are the ingredients for Broadway box office power? Simple. The music of Andrew Lloyd Webber, the composer of such hits as Evita and Cats, sung by Bernadette Peters, and the powerful choreography of Peter Martins in the show Song and Dance. Last fall, we attended the first day of rehearsal of Song and Dance.
Well, I've got news for you. I'm frightened too.
Let's see what a difference costumes, makeup, and scenery make.
English girl doesn't need much to say. An accent, what wonders my English girl do great in LA.
In a minute, we'll talk with Bernadette. But first, let the dancing start. And here's one of the lead dancers, Cynthia Onrubia, who has the distinction of being the youngest person ever hired for Chorus Line and was also in the original cast of Cats. Cynthia is in the dance half of Song and Dance. Tell us a little about Song and Dance.
Well, the first act, of course, is in song, second act in dance. The show is about an English girl who comes to New York, and she's played by Bernadette Peters, and she has a series of relationships. And one man that she falls very much in love with is Joe, and that's the second half of the show.
I understand that you are the dance captain.
Yes.
Now, would you tell us what a dance captain does?
Dance captain takes care of the show in maintaining all the steps the way it was set and choreographed in the beginning. So that means watching the show and giving notes to each individual dancer.
And dancing in it as well. I mean,
Right.
you dance.
Right.
And, yeah.
And having rehearsals, cleanup rehearsals, note sessions, things like that.
Peter Martins, of course, is from ballet rather than Broadway. What was it like working with him?
The first thing that really astonished me, was how much he could choreograph in a short amount of time. Some choreographers work on 8 counts for 2 days. Peter could choreograph the whole number in 3 hours.
What are you aiming for? What do you hope is your next step?
Peter Martins wants me to choreograph my own show.
Oh.
And I said, easier said than done.
It takes a lot of hard work and talent to do as many things as well as Bernadette Peters. She's been in 11 movies, including Pennies from Heaven and Silent Movie. For the past month, she's been starring in Song and Dance by night and by day reenacting her Broadway role for Showtime with co-star Mandy Patinkin in the award-winning Sunday in the Park with George.
When I was doing Sunday in the Park for television and Song and Dance, it was very hard. I actually prayed that I would go to sleep at night, and I did. I never thought I'd know the being the only character on stage was interesting because, first of all, you don't have to worry about stepping on your fellow performers' laughs or lines or anything like that. And you just create your own world up there for yourself. Look inside the eyes.
The pink lips, the red cheeks,
You catching here and there.
wide eyes studying the round face, the tiny pouncing all the parts and none of the whole. But the way she catches a light on the collar of her hair, I can look at her forever.
Now, when I worked with Steve Sondheim, I thought it was the first time I had ever worked with him. I thought it was going to be very difficult because his music is so precise. And in fact, what the music does, being so precise, is releases you in a strange way to perform.
Nah, I wouldn't like it much.
I loved the script, and I read the script, and I called and I said, well, I loved the script a lot, but now this is what Steve told me. He reminded me this is what I said. He said that I called him and I said I loved it and I was interested in doing it, but I don't do nude. He said that's why I said it. I don't do nude. So there was nudity in it, and I don't think I want to be nude on stage.
Sunday in the Park with George on February's Broadway on Showtime. Let's leave the impressionist world of Georges Seurat and Bernadette Peters and enter the gritty, realistic one of Orphans, a production from the Steppenwolf Company, one of the boldest theater troupes in America. Playwright Lyle Kessler's vision of Orphans is an ironic view of the dead-end kids gone awry.
Man had good taste. The woman, she didn't have bad taste either. Look at her. She had tiny little wrists. Tiny little, dainty little wrists. She wore it? No more. I bumped into another fella earlier today. Yeah? Fairmount Park. Mm-hmm. A fella put up a struggle. No kidding. I said, hey, what are you getting violent for, mister? No point in getting violent. Oh, what'd he do? He kicked me. He kicked you, yeah. Right in the shin.
I'm here at the West Side Arts Theater with Gary Cole, who plays Treat in the wonderful play and production of Orphans. Can you describe the play Orphans for us?
Well, it concerns 3 characters, 2 being brothers who have lost their parents somewhere along the way. The father has left home when they were very young, their mother also. And I play part of the older brother character called Treat, who has taken upon himself to raise his younger brother, probably not in the best way.
What do you mean?
Well, he's decided that it's not a good idea for him to leave the house at all.
For his brother to leave?
Yeah. And
how does he keep him?
Basically because he's older and pretends to be smarter than him and tells him that it's not a good idea to go outside because you'll probably die.
What does the Steppenwolf Company represent?
It represents quality work, I think, and it represents a kind of work that a lot of people don't get a chance to do, meaning that you're working with people that you know and love and most of the time work together all the time.
Do you feel a New York-Chicago rivalry? The Chicago people feeling, well, New York is crass and commercial and we're going to show them. And do you feel any of that? You can tell me the truth. No one's going to watch this.
Well, I don't. I think what New York has done for the company has been, you know, tremendous. They've always been recognized in Chicago as a quality group, but they've never gotten the national exposure that they've gotten now, and that is because of New York and in the way New York embraces theater.
What would you do if somebody came to you tomorrow and said, I have this terrific part in a movie or in a thing? What would you say?
Well, that's why there's temptation.
What's hot on Broadway this month? I'll tell you. There are 3 exciting plays that have the whole theater community excited. Miami, it's a new musical from Playwrights Horizon, has opened. And I personally hope this Wendy Wasserstein comedy takes the same route as Sunday in the Park with George, which also started at Playwrights. You see, I'm lucky enough to be one of its stars. The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which was such a hit last summer in New York Central Park, has been successfully transplanted to the Imperial Theater. This musical adaptation of Charles Dickens' unfinished novel has a special gimmick. Each night, the audience chooses the murderer. You know, since Michael Frayn's antic comedy hit Noises Off, Broadway has been waiting for another work from him. Well, it's here. It's called Benefactors, and it stars Sam Waterston, Glenn Close, Mary Beth Hurt, and Simon Jones. And now the results of the ACE Awards, cable TV's prestigious awards for excellence. Not that we want to boast, but why not? Our Broadway series won 3. Master Harold and the Boys for Best Theatrical Special, its author, Athol Fugard, for Best Writing, and Heartbreak House for Best Costume Design. And be sure to join me, Phyllis Newman, next month for another look inside Broadway.
For a Pulitzer Prize-winning play, take a nice, ordinary American family.
My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
Add a dash of lovable and eccentric characters.
How do you do?
And a lover with stuffy parents. Jason Robards and Colleen Dewhurst star in a new production of You Can't Take It With You, also starring George Rose and Elizabeth Wilson. An eccentric romantic comedy on Broadway on Showtime.
See the fantasy come to life again. The danger is back.
He will join us or die.
The adventure is back. The excitement is back.
Adventure. Excitement.
The fun is back.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
The galaxy is doomed when the Empire strikes back.
I'm beginning to agree with you.
The epic battle between good and evil, freedom and tyranny rages on.
You have learned much, young one.
You'll find I'm full of surprises.
The heroes are back. Mark Hamill.
Most impressive.
Harrison Ford.
I feel terrible.
Carrie Fisher.
You don't have to do this to impress me.
And Billy D. Williams.
You've got a lot of guts coming here.
Don't miss The Empire Strikes Back, premiering February 1st right here on Showtime.
Deep in the shadows of Sherwood Forest, you'll find a world of action, adventure, and dangerous deeds.
Men or demons, they're gonna be dealt with!
Where men are tested to the gut-wrenching limit.
They'll kill you! You're as good as dead!
Where heroes are common and cowards are scorned.
They're not worth fighting for.
Where comrades in arms live life to the fullest.
Wild men of the woods.
Where only the strong, the cunning, and the determined survive.
I will find him myself. With the hounds.
This is where Robin Hood and his merry men revel with their friends.
Yes, God's legs, you're a wild lad, Robin.
And do battle with their foes.
Don't like spies.
Join Robin Hood and his men of Sherwood.
They're coming.
All new episodes of Robin Hood starring Jason Connery beginning January 13th, only on Showtime.
On the next episode of Brothers, Lou is in big trouble.
Lou, what did you do? You get some woman pregnant?
And don't try to cheer me up. This is serious.
He's lost his job and doesn't know what to do.
I did find a matchbook cover, said I could become an ordained minister.
What'd you have to do, draw the Pope in a pirate's hat?
It's Joe to the rescue until a real job comes along.
Hey, Kelly, Lou's gonna work with us for a while. Isn't that great?
But when Lou hits the bottle, Joe is forced to do something drastic.
I fired him. How did he take it? I don't know, but I think he'll understand.
I'm gonna kill you.
Or not.
Will Lou get a job before brotherly love sends Joe to the hospital? Find out next week on Brothers, winner of 1985.